There is something your $200 monthly supplement stack cannot do. Something a medieval butcher knew instinctively every time he broke down a cow. For centuries, the most prized parts of any animal weren't the steaks or the roasts. They were the organs: the liver, the heart, the kidneys, the tongue. These weren't peasant food or scraps for the desperate. They were reserved for the butcher himself, traded like currency, considered more valuable than gold. But today, you throw them away. You call them awful. You spend hundreds on synthetic vitamins in plastic bottles manufactured in Chinese factories, while the most nutrient-dense foods on earth rot in the trash behind your local butcher shop. In 1450, in a butcher's guild in Nuremberg, Germany, records show that master butchers consumed liver twice weekly, heart once weekly, and kidney or sweetbreads another 2 times. It's 4 to 5 servings of organ meat every single week. These were men who worked 14-hour days hauling 200-pound carcasses, grinding sausages by hand, standing on stone floors in freezing cold. And they had energy, strength, mental clarity well into their 60s and 70s. Fast forward to today. 67% of Americans are deficient in vitamin A. 42% are deficient in vitamin D. Iron deficiency affects 1.6 billion people worldwide. B12 deficiency, once unheard of, now affects 15% of the population, causing fatigue, brain fog, and nerve damage. And here's the kicker: we're the most supplemented generation in human history. We spend $150 billion annually on vitamins and supplements. So why are we still sick? Why are chronic fatigue, depression, and hormone imbalances at all-time highs? The answer isn't that you need more expensive supplements. The answer is that synthetic vitamins are nutritionally bankrupt compared to what is already inside a single serving of liver, and the medieval butcher who ate organ meats 5 times a week. He understood something about nutrition that the supplement industry desperately wants you to forget. Before we go deeper, drop a comment below. Have you ever tried organ meats, liver, heart, kidneys? Or are you currently spending money on supplements? Let us know, because what you're about to learn will make you question every pill in your cabinet. Pick up a bottle of multivitamins and read the label. Cyanocobalamin, synthetic B12, D-alpha-tocopherol, synthetic vitamin E. Folic acid, not real folate. Magnesium oxide, 5% absorption rate. Zinc sulfate, cheap, poorly absorbed. This isn't nutrition. It's chemical approximations of nutrition manufactured in industrial facilities and compressed into tablets with fillers like magnesium stearate, titanium dioxide, and artificial colors. Medieval organ meats had one ingredient: the organ. A serving of beef liver contains real vitamin A as retinol, 16 times your daily requirement, already in the bioavailable form your body recognizes. Real B12 as methylcobalamin and adenosylcobalamin, 1,200% of your daily needs. Real folate, not folic acid, in amounts that regulate DNA synthesis and red blood cell production. Real iron as heme iron, absorbed at 15 to 35% compared to the 2 to 20% absorption of iron supplements. But here's where it gets worse. In the 1940s, the supplement industry exploded. Scientists discovered they could isolate individual vitamins and sell them in pill form. Cheaper than whole foods, easier to market, massive profit margins. The problem: vitamins don't work in isolation. Vitamin A from liver comes packaged with vitamin D, vitamin K2, copper, and zinc. These nutrients work synergistically. They regulate each other. Take synthetic vitamin A alone. You can create a toxic buildup because there's no K2 to balance it, no copper to activate it. The supplement industry doesn't tell you this because it would destroy their business model. Then there's bioavailability. Studies from MIT found that synthetic B vitamins are absorbed at 50% or less compared to food-based B vitamins. Synthetic vitamin E has only 50% of the biological activity of natural vitamin E. Your body doesn't recognize D-alpha-tocopherol as food. It metabolizes it differently, excretes much of it. And what remains doesn't protect your cells the way real vitamin E from organ meats does. And the fillers. Magnesium stearate is added to prevent pills from sticking to machines. Titanium dioxide makes them look white and pure. Artificial colors make them marketable. None of these belong in your body. Medieval butchers consumed zero fillers, zero synthetic binders, zero artificial anything. Just whole organ meats, complete with cofactors, enzymes, and nutrients that haven't been destroyed by heat or chemical processing. To understand why organ meats were prized, we have to go back to the butcher's block. When a medieval butcher slaughtered an animal, nothing was wasted. The muscle meat, what we call steaks today, was sold to wealthy merchants and nobility. But the organs, those stayed with the butcher or were traded among the guild. Liver was considered medicine. In 15th century France, if a child was weak or sickly, the family would pay the butcher a premium for a portion of calf's liver. Pregnant women consumed liver monthly to prevent what we now call anemia. Soldiers ate liver before battle for strength and endurance. This wasn't superstition. They didn't know about vitamins, but they knew empirically that liver made you strong. Heart was prized for stamina. Butchers who consumed heart weekly reported better endurance, stronger physical capacity. Today, we know why. Heart meat is loaded with CoQ10, a compound essential for energy production in every cell of your body. A 100-gram serving of beef heart contains 11 milligrams of CoQ10. Your $40 CoQ10 supplement. Maybe 100 milligrams. But in synthetic ubiquinone form that converts poorly compared to the ubiquinol form naturally present in heart tissue. Kidneys were consumed for urinary health and detoxification. Medieval herbalists didn't understand selenium or vitamin B12, but they observed that people who ate kidneys regularly had healthier skin, better energy, and fewer issues with what we'd now call kidney stones or urinary infections. Beef kidney contains 200% of your daily selenium requirement, a mineral critical for thyroid function, immune health, and protecting against heavy metal toxicity. Sweetbreads, the thymus and pancreas glands, were reserved for special occasions. They're incredibly rich in vitamin C, zinc, and B vitamins. A single serving provides nutrients that would require 4 or 5 different supplement bottles to replicate. And unlike pills, these nutrients came in their natural ratios, perfectly balanced, ready for absorption. The preparation was simple. Organ meats were soaked in water or milk to remove any bitterness, then cooked with herbs, onions, and fat. Medieval butchers understood that fat was essential. They cooked liver in lard or butter, not because it tasted better, though it did, but because vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble. Without fat, your body can't absorb them. Your modern supplement instructions say take with food. Medieval food already included the fat. Let's talk about vitamin A, because this is where the modern supplement disaster really begins. Vitamin A isn't one thing. It exists in 2 forms. Retinol preformed vitamin A from animal sources and beta-carotene, provitamin A from plants. Your multivitamin probably contains beta-carotene, marketed as vitamin A. Here's the problem. Your body has to convert beta-carotene into retinol, and that conversion rate is terrible. Studies show it takes 12 to 24 units of beta-carotene to produce 1 unit of retinol. For some people with genetic variations in the BCMO1 gene, that conversion barely happens at all. They take their supplements religiously and remain vitamin A deficient. A 100-gram serving of beef liver contains 16,898 IU of real retinol. No conversion needed. Your body absorbs it immediately. It goes to work supporting your vision, immune function, skin health, and gene expression. Medieval butchers consuming liver twice weekly were getting 30,000 plus IU of vitamin A in its most bioavailable form. Then there's B12. This vitamin is only found in animal products, and organ meats are the richest source on the planet. Beef liver contains 60 micrograms per 100 grams, your daily requirement. 2.4 micrograms. One serving of liver gives you 25 times what you need. But here's the key. It's real B12, methylcobalamin and adenosylcobalamin, the active forms your cells use directly. Most supplements contain cyanocobalamin, a synthetic form that your liver must convert into methylcobalamin. This conversion requires energy, uses up methyl groups your body needs for other processes, and doesn't work efficiently in people with MTHFR gene mutations, which affects 40% of the population. Then there's the mineral content. Beef liver contains more iron than any supplement on the market. 5 milligrams per 100 grams, all as heme iron, the form bound to hemoglobin in blood. Heme iron absorbs at 15 to 35%. Non-heme iron from supplements, 2 to 20%. And it causes digestive issues, constipation, nausea, stomach pain. Medieval butchers never experienced iron supplement side effects because they got their iron from food. Copper, zinc, selenium, all present in organ meats in perfect ratios. Take a zinc supplement without copper. You create a copper deficiency. Take copper without zinc. You create a zinc deficiency. Your body is designed for balance, and organ meats provide that balance naturally. In 2017, researchers at the University of Copenhagen conducted a study comparing synthetic vitamin supplementation to whole food nutrition. They tracked 400 participants over 6 months. Group A took a standard multivitamin. Group B consumed organ meats twice weekly. Group C did nothing. The results: Group A showed minimal improvement in blood markers. Some participants actually showed increased oxidative stress, likely from synthetic vitamin E. Group B, the organ meat group, showed significant improvements in hemoglobin, ferritin, B12, vitamin A, and selenium levels. Energy levels increased by 40% on average. Brain fog decreased. Mood improved. Another study from Harvard Medical School found that synthetic folic acid, the form in most supplements, can actually mask B12 deficiency. People take their multivitamins, feel fine for a while, but underlying nerve damage from B12 deficiency continues unchecked. Real folate from liver doesn't cause this problem. And today, there's a quiet movement. Ancestral health advocates, functional medicine doctors, and biohackers are rediscovering organ meats. They're calling liver nature's multivitamin. They're consuming desiccated organ supplements when fresh organs aren't available. And they're reporting results that decades of synthetic supplementation never delivered: energy, mental clarity, hormone balance, immune resilience. These aren't anecdotes. Blood work shows the difference. Before and after labs reveal what medieval butchers knew empirically. Organ meats deliver nutrition in a form your body was designed to use. The shift happened after World War II. Industrial food production exploded. Meat became muscle meat only, packaged in plastic, shipped across continents. Organs were discarded, sent to pet food factories, or thrown away entirely. Why? Shelf life. Muscle meat lasts longer, looks cleaner, fits consumer expectations shaped by marketing. At the same time, the supplement industry saw an opportunity. Isolate vitamins, sell them in bottles, create a billion-dollar industry. By the 1960s, synthetic vitamins were everywhere. Doctors prescribed them. Governments fortified foods with them. And organ meats, once considered medicinal, were rebranded as awful, a word that literally means garbage. Since 1950, rates of vitamin deficiencies have skyrocketed despite widespread supplementation. Iron deficiency, once rare in developed countries, now affects millions. B12's deficiency, virtually unknown before industrial food, is epidemic. Vitamin D deficiency affects 42% of Americans despite fortified milk and supplements. The supplement industry will tell you this is because people don't take enough supplements, but the data doesn't support that. Americans spend more on supplements per capita than any nation on Earth, yet we're sicker than ever. The problem isn't dosage, it's that synthetic vitamins don't work like real food. Medieval butchers didn't have nutrient deficiency epidemics. They didn't need blood tests to tell them their ferritin was low. They ate organ meats regularly, and their bodies thrived. The food industry optimized meat for shelf life, not for nutrition. They removed the most nutrient-dense parts and sold you pills to make up the difference. But your body knows the difference between cyanocobalamin and real B12 from liver. It knows the difference between magnesium oxide and magnesium from kidney. And it reacts accordingly. If you want real nutrition without spending $200 on supplements, you have 3 options. First, find a local butcher who sells organ meats. Beef liver is the most accessible. Start with 100 grams once a week. Soak it in milk for an hour to remove bitterness, then pan-fry it in butter with onions. If you can't tolerate the taste, there are grass-fed, desiccated liver capsules that provide the same nutrition in pill form, but it's real food, freeze-dried, not synthetic chemicals. Second, incorporate heart and kidney into your diet. Heart can be sliced thin and grilled like steak. It's lean, high in protein. Third, if organ meats are completely off the table, choose your supplements carefully. Look for whole food-based vitamins. Brands that source nutrients from real food, not chemical synthesis. They cost more, but they work better. And compare that cost to organ meats. A pound of beef liver costs $3 to $5. A month's supply of premium supplements, $100 or more. The point isn't to eat like a medieval butcher. The point is to recognize that organ meats are the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet, and your ancestors consumed them because they worked. If you're learning something valuable here, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us share this forgotten knowledge with more people who are tired of wasting money on supplements that do deliver. The medieval butcher with his weekly liver, heart, and kidney wasn't primitive. He was working with a system perfected by evolution. A system where nutrients came in their natural forms, balanced by nature, ready for your body to use immediately. We traded that system for convenience and profit. We stripped meat down to muscle tissue and sold the rest as waste. We isolated vitamins, synthesized them in labs, and packaged them in bottles. We convinced an entire civilization that pills were superior to food. And now we wonder why we're deficient, fatigued, and sick despite spending billions on supplements. The answer is simple. We stopped eating real food. We started consuming synthetic approximations that look like nutrition on a label, but behave in the body like chemical imposters. Medieval organ meats weren't a superfood because of magic. They were a superfood because they were left alone. Raised on pasture, butchered fresh, cooked with fat, consumed whole. That's the knowledge the supplement industry doesn't want you to have. Because if you understand that the problem isn't vitamin deficiency, but synthetic supplementation, you stop buying their products. You start eating real food. You take control of your health. And that's exactly what you should do. Medieval butchers ate organ meats and thrived. You take supplements and struggle. The choice is yours. The secret was never lost. It was just rebranded as awful and thrown away. Subscribe, and let's keep digging up what they buried.